All right, y'all. What's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another video. Oh boy. All right, y'all. So as y'all know, this past Saturday, Ailin Perez got a victory over a top 10 fighter in Kayla Rosa. And of course, boy, it's going to her head now because she making some big call outs. You know, she calling out fighters. She won an interim title fight. She calling out Kayla Harrison, even calling out the champ Julianna Pena, talking trash about her, calling her scared and all of that. You know, she calling her scared, S-less, all of that, man. So soon as I heard that, man, I was like, all right, now, look, I'm just starting to become a fan of her as a fighter. Now, I don't want to hear her going off the deep end, talking out the side of her neck. But nah, man, I'm just playing. But seriously, though, man, like, this type of talk does liven up the division, and we all know that bantamweight needs this type of talk. And for one, I've said this in a live stream a little while back, Kayla Rosa, you know, not Kayla Rosa, but Ailin Perez, even though I do like to see her grow as a fighter and add a little bit of flair. She's like a fighter that definitely want to see make it higher so we can kind of see her get beat up too. You know what I mean? Like, there are fighters you like to see put on a show, but at the same time you want to see them lose too. Like, I don't know. It's just like she's like a Ricardo Mayorga to me. You know what I mean? Like, Ricardo Mayorga, you know, when he goes in there, he's swinging wild for the fences. You want to see him score a knockout, but he talks so much trash and he acts so classless sometimes that you want to see him get knocked out too, you know? So for me, always seeing this girl talking trash or, you know, twerking, you like, oh man, eventually that twerking is going to have to stop, you know? So when you call out a fighter like Kayla Harrison, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, now we're about to see where this is going. But this is what she said in her recent interview. Like I said, I wanted to do a video on this earlier, but I've been busy. But after the fight, she said, I'm going to ask for a title fight, preferably against Kayla Harrison for the interim title, since Julianna Pena doesn't want to defend her belt against Kayla Harrison. That gives me a little, I don't know, like, come on, woman, defend your title. Who are you? Julianna Pena? I feel she's scared S-less of Kayla Harrison, and I want to show that I also want the belt. So why not an interim title fight versus Kayla Harrison to see who's the next one for the title? Julianna Pena is turning down fights and not taking advantage of the opportunity the UFC has given her. All right? So, okay, and she also said, obviously, Kayla, I guess as far as who she picks to be the winner between Kayla and Pena, that's why I want to fight Kayla. Just like I think Kayla beats Julianna Pena, I also don't think Kayla has what's needed to go 5 rounds with me. Ooh, that's why I want to fight for an interim belt. That's where we'll see all of Kayla's weaknesses. Okay, all right, you hear that? You know, she's really going in now. She really thinks that, you know, she's got the goods, but this will be another video, all right? This will be another video. We'll talk about this. But, yeah, like I said, I do like the fact she's talking. But when it comes to an interim title fight, let's talk about that. With that being said, with Ailin Perez on her little win streak right now, what is it, like 4-fight win streak? You know, I know she's definitely been putting it together. She beat a top 10 fighter. I think Kayla Rosa was number 9. Ailin Perez moves up a couple of rankings, I believe, like the number 11. But she doesn't crack top 10 yet, which is kind of crazy. I thought she maybe should have rounded it out at 10. But even with that, you know, since she's beaten the top 10 fighter, you know, she's calling for something higher. My opinion on the whole situation, I got to say, I do like the fact that she's calling people out and she's not a duck. That's definitely going to put some eyes on her and put some eyes on bantamweight and make people say, okay, I want to see this girl win or I want to see her lose, you know? So like I said, for me, it goes either way. You know, so I'll take it. But on the other side, I don't want to see her in an interim title fight right now because even though she's beaten 4 people, I don't think she's really beaten anybody of legitimacy or like credibility to say, okay, she's earned the interim spot. And y'all know who I'm thinking of right now who's perfect for an interim title fight, and it's not her. All right. Now, if she wants that interim title fight, she's going to have to go through another fighter that's on my mind right now. But, yeah, back to Ailin Perez right now. Yeah, Ailin Perez, she did beat Jocelyn Edwards, Daria Lesnikova. She beat Lucy Pudilova and now Kayla Rosa recently, all right? So those are good build-up names to build yourself as a fighter. But come on, like, really, she didn't really beat anybody else to deserve an interim title fight. I mean, Kayla Harrison was a champion over at PFL. Like, she's a big name, big, strong, proven fighter, you know, big proven champion. She beat 2 veterans in Holly Holm and Ketlen Vieira, right? And she also said that she's not ready. I mean, she's ready for a title fight, but she would be willing to fight anybody else. And with Julianna Pena maybe still out because of an injury, So they say, Kayla Harrison said, all right, I'll fight an interim title fight. I'll fight an interim title fight until then. Well, her manager did, she'd be down for that. So that would make sense, whether it be Rocky Pennington. But y'all know who I think earned that interim title fight, and that's Norma Dumont. All right, so step aside, Ailin Perez. You can't be screaming no interim title fight right now, because there's another fighter named Norma Dumont who's been holding it down in the UFC for a minute. Featherweight mostly, but now she's coming through bantamweight and ready to work. She beat Irene Aldana, GDR, and so many other fighters, at featherweight. So Norma Dumont, that's the girl right there. She's ranked a little bit higher. I think she's a bigger threat for Kayla, and I think she's just as polished as Kayla. So that'd be the fight to make. As for right now, for Ailin Perez, yeah, like I said, I think that's good for her to make herself known. That's marketing. But I would like to see her in there with somebody like Yana Santos or Miesha Tate next. Fight a veteran yourself. Fight a common opponent. Or fight a veteran kind of like Kayla Harrison did. Go in there and see if you can run through Yana Santos or Miesha Tate first. And if you run through one of them old classic veterans, or even like Irene Aldana, or even like a Macy Chiasson, all right, you want to fight a Macy Chiasson, call out Rocky Pennington yourself. Fight one of them higher names there that have been in there with champions before, and you go from there. All right. But other than that, I don't really want to see Ailin Perez in there with Kayla Harrison. An interim title fight really wouldn't make sense to me, because I think Kayla would beat her. But at the same time, I think that Ailin Perez would be denying herself some growth here too, as well. Missing out fighting them other fights. But the other thing she said about Julianna Pena being a duck or being scared, I don't think Julianna Pena is scared, because Julianna Pena did acknowledge the fight. She said that she's probably got 2 more fights in her, the Amanda trilogy and the Kayla Harrison fight. She said those are the 2 fights that she's targeting. And she does want to fight Kayla Harrison in International Fight weekend, So I don't think Julianna Pena is scared of Kayla Harrison. I think she's trying to build this thing up. But at the same time, fans are getting restless. So, get in there pretty, I wanted to see her get in there pretty soon, That's the thing. Injury or not, you have to make that fight happen at some point, right? But Ailin Perez calling out Kayla Harrison. Good look on her, good marketing ploy for her, call her out for an interim title fight. But we all know the best interim title fight for me, and I know many of y'all, is Kayla Harrison versus Norma Dumont. Until then, I think Ailin Perez versus Irene Aldana, Miesha Tate, Yana Santos, those are good names for her. All right? But guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Bantamweight is starting to look a little bit more interesting here. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that like button. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.